They're guys. They do magic. They are the magic guys.
Is that a beer? You don't drink beer. That wasn't a beer, was it?
No, not at all. It's a beer battery.
It's a beer.
It's a beer battery. Brought to you by V.
Ah.
No, it's not brought to you by V. It's brought to you by the Magic Guys.
The magic guy. I paid for it, I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
we paid for it, really.
Anyway, tell them what's up, bro. You're back
Your money
finally.
is our money. Yeah, I'm back.
What's up, guys? Episode 111. We got the crew back. We're finally here. We had 2 weeks off because we're all busy, and we're back now. As Jace would say, back now, baby. Anyway,
you might say that too, though. You tend to say that. You say baby a lot as well now.
I know,
So.
especially in our messages. It's just wonderful to say.
Well, you know what they say, man. You adopt the 5 people that you look up to the most. You imitate them. So
No, that's not exactly how it goes.
No, I've changed it. You look up to me the most, so you imitate me. I get it. That's cool, bro. I respect it. I would imitate me too if I was you, bro. Yeah.
Thanks.
How are you anyway? How's everyone doing? You guys already know how I'm doing because everything's like transparent for me.
Well, I mean, as far as the vlogs go, yeah. I've been keeping up to date. Sometimes I'll miss. It'll be like every second day, but for the most part, I'm still like keeping up to what you're doing with your axe throwing and.
Yeah, I got pretty good at that, dude. Got pretty good at throwing an axe.
That was. Yeah. What? Why? Where did that come about? That's not a show, right?
No. Oh no. The axe is in my straight jacket show, but I don't throw it. I had a tree there, and I was like, I'm gonna throw an axe at a tree.
As you do.
Yeah.
And then you get strangers to help out.
Yeah, man. Fine. Right? Why not, dude? It's like the way I see it is like, if everyone throws an axe, then everybody's happy.
I need an axe now. Sick. All right. Well, it's good to see everyone in the chat as well. I titled this, a Fringe debrief, I guess, just because it's fitting that Jace is back from the Fringe.
Thomas Hudson, thank you, bro. Thanks for watching.
This is a subject I'm greatly interested in, beyond what you did. Like, did you go to many of the events there beyond work? I know it's hard to do that sometimes, but.
Oh, yeah, I saw shows and stuff. Yeah.
I know you saw Charlie. That had to be a highlight. Charlie Caper.
It was a good act. I saw Ben Hart too. I'd never seen Ben Hart before, but I've seen him now, and I like him. He's good.
Man,
what are the venues you're seeing these guys in? What's the theater situation for a show like Charlie Caper?
It's like a carnival, It's like they're in like tents and stuff. These really like elaborate like carnival tents. Yeah, it's cool.
All right.
Yeah, it's a really cool vibe.
When I put up this video, this live, someone on Facebook was like, "Good luck. There's more performers than there are spots." What?
Yeah,
did you feel
that's
that?
a street performer from Melbourne. Yes. I mean, there are a lot of performers, and I couldn't just go out and do shows whenever I wanted. I had to go out and do whatever slot I got, which meant sometimes you just get screwed. Like sometimes it's amazing. Like you'll go out, you do a show, it's a banger. Other times you go out, you get like a really bad time slot, and you just have to tough it out. Like it's like, it's working uphill kind of thing. It's tough, but the whole point of Fringe though isn't to go and get rich. It's to go and spend time with other performers. You end up learning so much from it. It's like an education rather than making money. So I feel I learned a lot. Also, Mika grew as a performer, grew exponentially. Like
I can only imagine. Yeah, coming from New Zealand where he's just going out on the weekends and doing his day job to now being amongst it at the highest, you can.
Yeah, he went from, barely scraping the bottom end of like $10 a hat to doing his first almost $200 hat.
What?
Yeah, like he's growing very fast.
Yeah, and this is again, like you were saying, you not only do you get the reps, all those performance opportunities, but you're surrounded by all of these people that you can talk to and learn, right?
Yeah, and you see like how they work it, and, the jokes that they do, and just the general environment of like people motivated to be better performers. You know what I mean? And you just start learning, and it's good. Watching Mika grow is so fascinating to me. You know, as like an entertainer, it's very interesting. It's like a case study.
Yeah, I mean, you're literally watching him grow, just like I guess how, you know, James guided you when he watched you grow.
Yes.
It's like the circle of life happening again.
Kind of, yeah, except, oh, well. I forgot that we were on a podcast for a brief second.
It was interesting. It was interesting you were saying how, I mean, it was only because they were being a kind of heckling family, but it was interesting how you were like, the family had just watched Mika. And so because he learned from you, they were like, oh, the other guy just did that trick. Oh, the other guy did that trick.
I don't think that had anything to do with it. Like he didn't, Mika doesn't do the same show as me.
I know.
He does a similar stuff, but his show is very different. And I've made it very clear, like, I'm happy to help him make jokes and stuff, but I won't accept him using the same material as me. So in the end, it's like, yeah, there are some jokes that are like similar, but he has different wordings for them and stuff, which is like, I think important too. It's helping him grow individually.
It's so good to have that attitude with him. That's going to benefit him immensely.
Yeah, I was like, when I started out, man, I was a hard carbon copy of my teacher.
Right.
And I was like, you don't want to be like that because it's not good for you. And it stunts your growth. And it's really hard.
The evolution just takes that much longer that way.
Yeah,
if you really are talented, then you're hindering
becomes harder
yourself,
to be your own self. So I made it. So yeah, I pretty much forced him to be his own self. But this family that was in my crowd, yeah, it was off the back end of him. You know how people are. It's like, well, he already did a card trick. Do you know what I mean?
Like,
that was the kind of thing. And the thing is, this time slot is like, time slots are valuable, man. And I got half an hour, and I start, and this family just constantly saying, "Oh, he just did that. He just did that." So I was like, okay. I was like, no worries. I'm just going to stop here, and I'm going to get the new crowd. And then I did. And then the very next person was this, like, I'm cool with drunk people. I'm so cool with drunk people. I'm not cool with people who reek. Like, you know, like this person had a pungent odor that was bleeding throughout. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. And I was like, there's just no winning for me. So my last show of the festival was, don't get me wrong. It was small. Like I only got like a crowd of 20 people or something. It was small and it paid, you know, pretty well considering. But it was like, I was hoping for like a nice big thick crowd, like a, you know, a solid banging finish to it. But yeah, I guess that's life, man. I guess that's just how life goes.
Can you imagine if that family was like watching jugglers and they're like, oh, the last guy juggled 3 clubs.
They probably are.
The last guy juggled knives.
Like, yeah.
How stupid.
Yeah. The thing is, though, is that magic has a more intimate environment. So, like, when you're doing a juggling show, you build a crowd, but they stand away, and they're not as connected as when you do a magic show. You start with people literally inches away from you, and then you progressively build up from there.
You can say it. Like, it's not as good as magic. You can say
it. It's very different. Yeah, it's very different for sure. I think juggling is great. Like a good juggling show is phenomenal. I've seen it. I saw a few jugglers at this festival where it's like, man, maybe I should start learning juggling.
But there is the distinction. Fun. They start with the fourth wall up. You know, they're not starting with intimate experiences. It's, hey, we're doing a show. You stand over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what's the backstory on the manager of it? The guy that was like putting the kids in his suitcase when he did his show, and like that was freaking awesome.
That guy's phenomenal. Conrad, his name's Conrad. He's just an OG street performer, man. I think he's the same age as James, and he just does it all, man. Whip cracking, magic, juggling, pretty much any like carny skill you can think of. He can, at least to some extent, do it, and do it quite well too. Like he was like walking around springing cards, man. He was like, and I was like, dude, what the fuck?
And obviously his hat skills were crazy.
The thing that I found, you didn't see this, but the thing that I found the most fascinating is there was only like 2 of us there, I think, that were good with whips. Like, and when I say good, I don't mean like we crack it to make a noise to get a crowd. I mean, we actually know how to use whips, right? And then out of nowhere, Conrad's like, oh, that's a pretty nice whip. Do you mind if I have a look at it? And he just starts doing all this crazy shit, some stuff that I have never seen before. And I was like, I was like, dude, And he's like, yeah, that's just a pretty nice whip. And then he just hands it back to me and leaves. And I was like, oh,
jeez.
the dude's just a proper old school carny, and it's really inspiring. Yeah,
Doug, you got to check some of this out. And like his improv of like that was just fun. That was just fun to watch. I'm sure everyone here.
Father of buskers, we call him.
This was the guy doing the draw every day, kind of.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of it.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
and
we had some good adventures down there. Those vlogs were good, man. I enjoyed those vlogs.
Hey, we were living vicariously through you. I mean, yeah. Was there any point where you were like, oh, fuck this editing?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, of course. Of course, man. Dude, the most recent vlog, I don't know if you saw it, but the most recent vlog, oh, you did see it, you commented on it. I don't know if you watched the whole thing there. But that vlog there, holy man, like that vlog goes through the night. Do you know what I mean? Like I hadn't slept, so I just like I'll just include the airport for it and stuff.
I really feel for you when I see the edits where you're like, all right, so this edit starts yesterday, and then in the edit you're talking about how you're editing like today's video that's would have seen yesterday. Like that's insane, bro.
Yeah. Like the vlogs are like going off. Yeah, it's here's the thing though. This time around in the challenge, I'm having a much better time handling it than the first time I tried to do this. Today's 72, and it's going well. Like I don't feel knackered. Do you know what I mean? Like the first time, I don't know if you remember, but I was like visibly sick. I was messed up. And this time it's like, sometimes it's a little bit harder, like a little bit hard, but it's not. I'm doing much better. And
you got the crew behind you, man, giving you that love. Do you have a name for your vlog watchers yet?
No.
I guess they have to assign their own name. You can't really give it to them.
Yo, what's up, Jason Paulers?
The 365ers. There's got to be some kind of clan name. Because they're watching daily.
Jason and the Norbedos.
They wouldn't even know what that means.
So there's I need to get you in the vlog, man. Gosh, you gotta come down. I got a gig for Slipknot, the band Slipknot. Yeah, I got a gig for them coming up.
You doing like backstage work or?
No, I'm performing on the stage.
Like pre-show?
Yeah, doing a fucking straight jacket escape.
Whoa.
What? For Slipknot?
Yeah.
What the actual hell?
For their audience, yeah.
This is not unheard of, combining magic with intense rock music.
It's very funny. I got to take time to listen to some Slipknot music there, so I can.
You took 13 minutes to just slip that in there. That's like for a lot of people, that's like insane because they grew up. Like my era grew up. I didn't listen to Slipknot growing up, but I wasn't that hardcore. But for people like that's their era, like everyone our age sort of thing.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Let me find the details in this thing. It's very funny.
I'm flashing back to Simon Drake with Iron Maiden. He was throughout the whole show. Iron Maiden heavy metal band. Simon Drake gothic magician performing.
So these are the bands that I'm performing. So Slipknot, Parkway Drive, Megadeth. Those are the three big ones. And then there's just like a bunch of other ones here, I guess, that are like supporting ones. But yeah, are you familiar with Space Cowboy?
Yeah, from Australia's Got Talent.
Yeah, he's the one that called me up for the.
Is it like a variety experience? Then you'll be part of a.
Yeah, it'll be me. It'll be me. I guess him and a girl who's an acrobat, I believe.
Right, he's the guy.
Little variety show.
He's the guy that does the Tesla coils with a sword swallow, right? That insane guy. Yeah,
he was the one I was whipping stuff out of his hands when we were in New Zealand. You know, when I think about this 365, man, a lot's happened. I've hardly been home in that 365. I've mostly been in other parts.
Yeah, and you're only here for like what, 2 weeks, and then you're off to Asia.
Yes.
God damn it.
Those will be fun vlogs there because it won't be like I won't be grinding as much with like doing shows and stuff as well.
That's insane.
So I'll be able to take a break.
We should just, us guys, we should just spend a day recording like 12 episodes because we know once stuff gets crazy, we might need to be able to bank on a few episodes. I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? Would you mind watching like pre-saved episodes instead of like no episode?
I think we can. I think we should be able to do the pod still, even if I'm overseas. Should be fine.
But just in case, you know, we could be like, hey guys, this is one of those get out of jail free card episodes. We
just have it sitting there for 4 weeks, and then like comes out that it's so out of date and out of touch.
Like all of our content is timeless, really.
Yeah. You just see, I've got hair again, and just crazy references.
Doug's not dead.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That
was a dark. That was a very dark one.
Damn. We better start doubling up an episode straight away, Jace, in case.
Yeah. On a side note, look what I got sent from First Dot Shop. Right there is a 4 bricks of playing cards.
That's a thing of beauty.
I think I saw Chris's comment where he's like, I think I need to send you more cards.
I also got this too.
What the what?
The box.
Yeah, I got sponsored by Chris Ramsey.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
It's funny the way it happened too, because I when he announced like, oh, we're gonna get sponsors, I was like, oh, maybe I'll put my hat in the ring for it, and I was ignored, and I was like, man, fuck this shit. I was gonna become famous instead, and then I got this really big following, and then out of nowhere, he's like, all right,
all right, you can have some cards.
I was like, all right.
Steve Martined him. Be so good they can't ignore you.
I did. That's right. Yeah, that's it.
Steve Martin. What was his magician name again with the Fly Dini?
The Fly Dini act is one of the best acts ever. Literally of all time.
So really? I haven't seen it before.
You haven't seen Fly Dini?
No.
Oh my God.
Dude.
You have homework. It's one of the best magic acts ever.
Really? Even better than Charlie Capers act?
Well, it's not that good. But he performed it on The Tonight Show. So he did it with Johnny Carson.
I got to say, have you guys seen More Minor Miracles yet? Have you seen it, Josh?
Is that
Your Minor
Charlie
Miracles
show?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. No, only from what you put up in your B-roll.
Is this
and
is he doing robots
mentioned
in this show, or that's a different thing?
Sorry?
Is he doing robots, electronics in this show?
Yes, he has a robot that's like a small robot that's built to look like him. That has the ability to move like a normal human. And they have this, it's like an act where they're like mirroring each other. So as he moves, the robot moves at the same pace. And then he takes a handkerchief and puts it in his hand. And then the robot pulls it out of his hand. And it's a really cool act. I was just watching it like, holy, who thinks of this shit? It's the first time I've ever seen the silken thumb tip and thought, that is a good trick.
Well, goddamn.
The robot did it, man. The robot performed it.
I was really impressed with Joel Fenton's stories. Like, he only landed like 2 days ago, and he's already seen like 15 shows or something, like in his first day of being there.
Yeah, he arrived and just bought a bunch of tickets. He and I sat at a bar for like several hours just talking nonsense. It was a good time.
Hey, it's Scott here.
Yeah, that's awesome. He doesn't mess around.
I don't know if you heard that, but Scott is there.
Scott.
Yeah, just on your phone there. I just heard him go, hey, it's Scott here.
Oh, yeah.
Can we talk a little about the busking scene? Like, if you wanted to busk this thing, is it a audition? You get an invite? You just show up?
You can just show up. You can just show up.
You can just show up to the draw and be...
Then there are like 3 different pitches. There's a music pitch. There's a pitch called the Alcoves, and then there's the Circle Show pitch. I was going to do the Circle Show pitch, but there were so many circle acts that if I did that, then someone would miss out. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I was I'll just do the Alcoves instead, and which is fine. Next year there won't be as many performers, because the thing is that the year before, there were everyone was getting plenty of slots, and then everyone heard about that and was like, oh, that Fringe must be real good. And then they all showed up, and now this time they'll be like, "Oh, that Fringe was too busy, so they won't show up." You know what I mean? Like, It's like a never-ending wave. So next year will be better.
Are there opportunities to busk outside of the allotted slots? Is there like fringe work to be done if you're not, getting
Yeah,
it all done?
I was doing like there's like the indoor show tents and stuff where you can go and do little rockin' shows and spruik them and stuff.
Mhm.
And then there's like you can go and busk outside of the fringe. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that there are spots that are regulated for the fringe.
Right.
Yeah. And then it's a whole thing,
Mhm.
One thing I wanted to get across in this vlogs, like the reason why I was doing them so hard there, is that I really wanted to show that like busking is a proper community. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And try and like show that we're real people, man. We all have our struggles.
There could be some really strong documentaries on the subject. I'm trying to think of a good one where they showcase how strong the community is. I guess there's been some, but
I think I've highlighted that, man, when the guy harassed one of the buskers and like 5 of us chased him out. And
I was just going to mention that, like that showed that's a great example. And, for those maybe who haven't watched that bit, he was doing a balancing act, right? With Pringles. Like even that itself is pretty unique. Like doing tearing the tablecloth away with the like tower of Pringles. And then these dicks come up and just knock it over. I mean, they didn't know where they were, obviously.
Yeah.
They're on camera, and Jason Ma and Basketball Man are right there watching. And then you're in trouble.
Well,
I assume they're dead now.
I get the feeling that they'll never do it again. Like, the funny thing is that they were filming. Like one of them, the friend was filming the other friend where they harassed him. So they thought it was funny. Like, but I reckon the next time that they're hanging out with someone and someone's like, "Oh, I'm going to mess with the busker," they're going to be like, "No, don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Don't do it. It's not worth it." It's like an underground group of gangsters just watching over him,
just waiting for him. Damn straight.
Yeah, well, the buskers look after each other, dude. You cannot mess with it. You got to be careful.
Yeah. So overall,
you, Josh, we're talking about everybody else. You just did a run with the Showmen, including your hometown show. How was that?
That's coming up. That's coming up. In January we did a Northern New South Wales tour, but we just announced the one coming up in our hometown, which is like the biggest theater in our city. Yeah, QPAC, 1,500 seats. It's where Penn and Teller played when they came here. It's where the Illusionists played when they came here, like the same concert hall. It's ridiculous. Like it's like I shouldn't be in that place doing magic, but we are. And so that's coming up in April. We're doing 4 shows there. And so we're just getting everything ready. We have to make the show tighter because instead of 90 minutes, including an interval, this show has to be an hour and 15 minutes with no interval. So it's a good excuse for us to just up our game and make it all tighter and more compact anyway.
And why is there a change like that?
Well, QPAC is very professional and like they pump out so many shows, so many high quality. Like Hamilton will be playing in the theater next door to us.
I see.
And so they don't mess around. So they know what they want. And what happened was they sent scouts to come and watch Showmen when we were on our last tour. Like before they even agreed to have us, they sent their people out to watch the show. And so it's there's just like little conditions and stuff. And that's one of them, that the act has to be this tight, tight set. But last week, so I've been starting to tinker with bits in my show, and I was fortunate. I've had like a week off from no gigs, and then all of a sudden last week I have 3 corporate shows right after one another. So I got a chance to like try out bits that I'm going to put in Showmen in each show and try it differently and film it and see what it looked like, and that was really helpful, very helpful.
No doubt.
I normally wouldn't take a close-up camera. Like I normally wouldn't do my close-up card set that I do in Showmen at a corporate gig. But I was like, the last event I just did was in a convention center. So they had the tech to stream and stuff. So I was like, screw it. I'm going to do this act and see if I can get into the act from having just done all the other pieces first.
Awesome.
Because I have to load a few things. And I was like, let me see if I can do it on the spot. And it's good fun. It's good fun.
It's good, man. I like that act. I remember when you made that, like 2017 or something, 2016. It was a while ago. a long time ago.
Yeah,
I remember it because I was living in an apartment in the Valley at the time. Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Mm.
This will be like close-up card magic for the
right?
camera on the stage.
Yeah, I mean, long story short, I had this R&B artist compose a love story song that all the lyrics match what the cards are doing. Like coming back, you know, blah blah blah, hanging out with these jokers, and all the stuff just matches what's happening.
Like
visually.
a Sam kind of feel, then.
Yeah. Yeah. Except in a song version, I guess. Right. So yeah, so it's my version of a story deck. But
cool.
I was right. 2000, the end of 2000. It was the beginning of 2017 on Valentine's.
Damn. Yeah.
That's a trick that's sorely lacking from my repertoire, the story deck. Like I know people love it, and I have had requests for it all the time. Just never learned one.
To have made your own story deck is impressive, I think.
That's the way to do it for sure.
Well,
making your own story deck.
I've started doing that, but I've only got 3 cards in, so
you're doing good then. So
Josh doesn't use the whole deck for his love story, like his story deck.
No.
You don't have to.
It's more of like a love card routine. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not necessarily like a King Street thing.
Yeah, cool. That's fine.
Yeah. But it's still very good.
That's important. Thanks, man.
Still,
and it's
changed. It's still not bad. It's all right. You know?
And even still, it's definitely the most sleight of hand intense heavy routine that I do. That's for sure.
Yeah,
but even yeah, buddy. And since doing it in Showmen, it has a better ending now. It used to just end in just sort of like a pretty soft way, but now it's like boom, much punchier. So it's still, even after it being around for 6 years or whatever.
Are we allowed to say how it ends on the air?
Yeah, I mean, well, the very ending is the two
roses, baby.
Yeah, the very ending is the 2 cards that love each other turn into the 2 of hearts. So now they're together, and then the 2 of hearts changes into rose petals, and they sprinkle all on the table.
Fancy.
Good fun.
Yo, what's up, Christopher Ritchies?
Yeah, hey, Chris is our stagehand, as well as his being a magician in his own right. He's particularly helping us out as a stage manager for this QPAC run. What's up, bro?
That's super helpful. Do you have a stage manager all the time with the show? I mean, you got tech guys, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There will be a tech crew on board, but Chris is coming because he's in Brisbane. He'll be coming to help us, as a magic with the magic brain,
Yeah, get it.
Yeah. So that'll be sick.
Must be nice to have a team.
Yeah, man, I got a team. I got a team now.
Me too, except they're all cats.
I just outsource all my work to Mika when I can't be fucked doing something.
Hey, that's what I do.
Mika's still got that young renegade energy, so he can do it.
Nice.
It's helpful.
Yeah, that's sick. And what's happening with you, Doug? What's been going on lately?
Oh,
cranking the content.
I've been living the degenerate lifestyle this week. I went to a couple of burlesque shows. Last night I was out with Jimmy Ferrister. He's a fan of the show. He's probably watching. We went out and got hammered and watched some burlesque and did some other New Orleans things. Same venue as with Warpo. Watching another show. Professionally, I did a lecture this week. That was fun. Online lecture. Zoom for the San Jose ring.
And Mardi Gras? How was that? Because I don't think we've seen you since the Mardi Gras partying.
Yeah, Mardi Gras is always taxing. I went out the day before and really overdid it, and then tried to do Mardi Gras Day and failed horribly.
Good.
The best thing in my life is yesterday I celebrated my forthcoming grandchild, number 4. My daughter's baby shower was yesterday, and of all the things I'm doing, welcoming that human being into the world next month is like super happy for everybody in my universe. So yeah.
Oh, great, man. That's great. You guys missed a banger of a episode, the last one we did with Ian Brennan from the UK. This guy came so prepared that he listened to every episode of ours once he knew he was going to come on the podcast. Like he's so up to date. He knew so many references than what I did.
That doubled our views then. That's pretty good.
Absolutely. I was like, how analytics? Every episode hitting 1 view. And he fooled everyone who was watching the podcast. He did like essentially dress code. He did a shirt change throughout the episode. And it wasn't until the end that someone was like, I think he just got us. And we're like, oh my God, I can't remember if you were wearing, because by the end I commented on his watermelon shirt. And then someone was like, was he wearing that the whole time? And I was like, I don't know. Were you wearing that the whole time? He got us, man. Props to Ian. That dude.
What a great trick for a virtual. That's a good choice.
Yeah, that guy was prepared.
Have you seen the color changing card trick by Richard Wiseman? This is a classic. He says, I'm going to do the color changing card trick, and everything in the room changes. The close-up pad, the tablecloth, his shirt, the background, and the card, but everything changes and you don't notice because you're so focused on the card trick. That's awesome.
That reminds me of the version Vin Yang did. That's the only version I've seen. The keynote speaker. He does a version on stage where he's like, you know, basically if you're watching too closely, you miss the bigger picture, and like it zooms out and shows you a wide view of what happens. And he's got a guy there helping him take off his jacket every time he moves his arm, and, you know, tablecloth, background, everything, flower pots.
We can thank Richard Wiseman for that, I'm sure. He broke the internet in the early days with that color changing card trick.
I'm pretty sure, I got to see him do a show at Magic Live when I went there. He did like a seance thing where we got to watch what was actually happening in the room with a special light because it was dark for them.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
And it was like, this is how you can fool people to thinking a seance is happening. And they showed like, yeah, we could see what was happening, but people there were like freaking out. Yeah.
Look at this card trick. It's got 4 million views long form, published in 2012. It's pretty good views for a card trick. 2 million.
I was tuned out for a second there. I was watching the shirt change on that vlog.
Oh yeah.
On that podcast. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
I love that he did that, man. You reckon he owned that watermelon shirt before that episode?
I don't think so.
I reckon he went out and specifically bought a watermelon shirt. I can respect that. Yeah. I also love that he comes back with a bag of like walnut shells to cover it so that you don't see that it's changed, and then your focus is on this thing, and then he like just carries on like nothing happened.
The fact that he waited till the very end of the podcast, like if you were watching the whole thing, your guard is so down because he's like, oh, can I talk up one other thing that I have? And it's a product. Like he makes these peanut shells. So that's what he was talking about at the time. And then it wasn't until I just happened to mention, and thanks for wearing a watermelon shirt today and blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, no worries. And just one person commented, I think he got us with a magic trick there. I love it. Yeah. I used to have I still have it, but I used to use color changing tie where you can turn around, you can change your tie essentially, or have no tie or have a tie and then have it disappear. And I used to, a couple of times I did it on stage just to see if anyone noticed, or I'd make sure I picked a spectator that had a different colored tie and I'd be like, oh, we're not matching. And I'd turn back around. Now we've got the same color, but didn't want to I don't wear ties anymore, but yeah. Have you guys ever messed around with any clothing changes?
No, I don't really do magic.
My very first magic shop purchase when I went in a real magic shop was David Ginn's color changing shoelace.
Nice.
It was an overpriced monstrosity, and the fact that 15-year-old me bought another thing after that was a miracle.
Ooh. Oh yeah, Chris has got the right idea. Obviously, Apollo Robbins did the best version of it in his TED Talk and just fries everyone. You guys have seen this, right?
No.
The Apollo Robbins TED Talk. What?
No, what did he do?
What? But are you familiar with Apollo Robbins, the pickpocket expert?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Apollo.
Yeah.
It's not that.
Is
he talking about misdirection in that video?
Bro,
is it on misdirection?
He's talking about a particular type of blindness where it's like directional blindness or something.
Yeah, that's
like
what Richard Wiseman uses. Yeah, directional blindness.
Right. And he has a spectator on stage, and he's like able to steal his watch and load coins and this and that because he's directing his attention and stuff.
Yeah.
But then he goes into other things like, he gets everyone to look at their phone, see what apps they've just, recently opened. And then he goes, I bet none of you remember what the time was, even though you were looking right at it. It's really interesting. But now I've said the ending,
he's one of
but
the more
he just
scientific magi to study what we do and analyze it. Even like I've seen his work on false placements or false takes and how the eye follows the movie. Like he studied the human eyeball and how it tracks, where it goes, and he also not too many people.
He also talks about, like, I think his analogy is like, imagine there's a guy sitting at the camera that's viewing what you're seeing. And he's like, when you ask that person a question, they have to turn around and go to the filing cabinet to look at the answer. And while that's happening, you can do something here and you'll miss it because he's not looking. And then he comes back. That's kind of what he's saying when he's pickpocketing and stuff.
Yeah. But it's all in frame. There's no turning around to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's everyone has to go watch that. I mean, it's 25 million views this thing has. The Art of Misdirection, Apollo Robbins. It's just,
I'll keep it on my desktop to watch.
Beautiful.
I'll do it after I finish today's video.
Yeah, I mean, just react to it.
Yes. Reacting to Apollo Robbins, and then I'll get demonetized for it.
Well,
good times.
It's worth it.
So worth it.
Oh man, I might even watch it after this just for fun because it's just so good. I wonder what he's doing now. I mean, I know he consulted for movies and stuff, and Will Smith's Focus movie, and
I reckon he's probably just having a bath and thousands of dollars of money.
I would imagine he's a successful corporate worker, probably doing gigs similar to the ones you do, Josh. Working.
Yeah. Maybe
private functions.
Maybe he does talks for like security companies or casinos and stuff.
He's in the right place to book high-end gigs. He's on the West Coast or Vegas out there, and I'm sure he stays quite busy.
What about you, Josh? How's your month looking? Busy?
This month?
Yeah.
So I just did a photo shoot, so I have photos of me with a shaved head. That had to be done. So I can start updating my promo. Had these gigs last week. That was like the main focus. And now we've got rehearsals for Showmen. There's like a few close-up gigs. I'm not like packed out with gigs this month, to be honest. It's really not until probably June onwards that things really kick up work-wise. But yeah, still a lot of prep to get done and things to edit for the...
But you're still incredibly rich, right?
Showman. Oh, I'm not even sitting on a chair. I'm just sitting on mounds of cash. Like, that's fine. That's why I'm so relaxed. I think we can agree we never have enough cash. Like, you can never have enough. And then when you have some, then you spend it on stuff like camera lenses, like we were just talking about before the podcast.
Yeah. So,
DJI Ronin.
I bought this new I bought the new gimmicked 50-cent piece. So
Oh yeah, with the extra mat, so you can roll it over your fingers easier.
Yeah, it's like a more aerodynamic coin, so it just rolls through your fingers nicely.
And is it more malleable when it's in the sun?
Yeah, it's a softer metal too, so it just has this slight bend to it. It's nice.
That's what I'd hoped. Just like your
only $3,000.
Well, that's a bargain. Is that a Roy Cooper's design?
I bought two, brother. I put one in, because they fold up pretty small, so you can like put them in your eyelid too, which is nice.
What else can you put them in?
Your ass. You can put them in your ass.
Wow. But do you have to fold it or no? You just straight in?
Oh, I'll put it back there. Sorry?
I said, when you put it in your ass, do you have to fold it or do you just straight in like a coin slot?
Depends on how I spent the rest of my week previously.
Oh, yeah. Well, you've been at the Fringe, so I'm assuming just
you can throw it straight in.
Yeah. Wow.
This podcast is taking a turn for the worst. I'm getting cancelled now.
Yeah. Well, at least, we're not monetized, so we're not losing much. We're okay.
Boy, we're getting close, though. I looked at the count. We're like 800 and something subscribers. Thank every damn one of you out there for hitting that button.
Oh, for sure. And I hope we continue this long enough to get monetized.
No.
We will. We will.
It's
It'll
climbing.
happen.
It's
It'll
climbing
happen.
every week.
Then we can all buy like an extra coffee each week.
Oh, yeah, Jace, how did that one guy have a Magic Guys jumper at Fringe? Was that actually yours? Or did someone give him... Because he didn't buy one.
No,
I know everyone who bought one.
So Mika brought his jumper. This guy just sort of taxed it and decided to just wear it all the time.
Right.
And it's funny because Quinn Beasley is one of the best street performers at the Fringe. Like he was an incredible street performer. He's doing live comedy, stand-up comedy and stuff, wearing our merch. It's very funny.
Is he just stand-up street? That's it?
No, he does a juggling unicycle act and stuff, but he is a stand-up comedian. So, and he brings that sort of comedic vibe out to his shows when he does his shows. So he ends up doing far better than most because, most juggling circle show acts, they all do the same jokes.
It's a big hype. They do the trick. They pass the hat.
Yeah, well, it's a promise show, right? It's the promise that they will get up on that unicycle at some point, and they all just deliver the same lines. Like every joke is the same. And then, but Quinn, on the other hand, he is like an actual comedian, so he's able to like spot people in the crowd and then do like an improv bit of comedy with that person, and it's very funny and very entertaining to watch, and it makes the whole like 10-foot unicycle thing very interesting and more fun to watch. But also, he's just wearing a Magic Guys merch the whole time too.
Yeah, that's great. And then he did a shoey and destroyed it.
He's still got the shirt. Ending. He's still got it. Yeah, he definitely just kept it. A shoey. It's when you drink a beer out of your own shoe.
Oh,
come on, Doug.
Yeah, okay.
Come on, Doug. Haven't you ever been to the Down Under, mate? We do that for breakfast.
I've heard this before. The shoey.
Yeah, Josh and I just did a duo shoey this morning before we started the pod.
Yeah, it's
no better way to start the day.
I often see right before he walks out on stage for Showmen, he's got his shoe off and filled with beer and chug a lug, and then he goes out and does a backflip on stage. It's very impressive.
That's it. Maybe one day when you were there to vlog behind the scenes of Showmen, we'll do that.
When is your next one? Like when's the QPAC one?
April 6th and 8th of April.
Yeah, I won't be here. When's the one after that?
The following week in Canberra. I think you're obviously still away.
When's the one after that? When's the one when I'm back? Come on, man.
Well, it's like it's basically every school holidays season is when we tour somewhere. So yeah, no, the next ones aren't released, but I know I've got them blocked off. I'll tell you after.
Okay.
But
you guys
eventually,
you guys should just pay for my accommodation. Just treat it like a consultation.
a marketing expense.
Come up and I'll consult your magic show.
Yeah, will you sell out your hometown show? Will you sell 1,500 tickets there?
What's up, Seth? Great question, Doug. Well, the thing is, QPAC is taking the handle on the marketing. So they're beasts. So they are organizing like radio interviews, TV interviews, all that kind of stuff. Because 4 shows means they got to sell 6,000 tickets.
Tickets.
That's a lot of tickets. I know.
For a magic show, it is. Yeah.
I know they have sold like a shit ton already, which is insane. But so they're pumping out, like we're on the side of QPAC, like the big building. So like from Brisbane City, you can see, the poster and stuff.
So they know. They like you said, they vetted you. They know they're going to sell the tickets. So.
Yeah, they've got their own machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And their own email
for the next TV spot. For the next TV spot, do you reckon you could potentially do some actual magic this time, or do you feel like dropping coins and flashing the hell out of the sudden deck and all that sort of stuff?
Well, here's the thing. That was not to promote QPAC. That was to promote Eat Street. Because...
that's fine then. Oh, okay, that's totally fine then. Yeah, screw Eat Street.
Yeah. So yeah,
did you have a sour live segment somewhere? Is that what happened?
Oh, bro, it was abysmal. Holy,
it was fine. It just wasn't Jason's standard. I made a video, Doug, about failing on live TV.
Oh,
so
okay.
You can watch it
online.
You should go watch it now, guys. It's a good episode. It's very funny, very entertaining.
Thanks. I try to make content, even if it's
content. I like your
own
content. I like the
expense.
quality of your filming lately. You're getting better at like lighting up your scenes and stuff. It looks really good.
Thank you. I try.
Like
I
your office scenes look fantastic.
Sick. It's the light box, man. It's the soft box
you're
that helps.
very well lit in the back as well, though.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
well, that's good. But we did a morning show cross. It was 7 a.m. It was live, and like my hands aren't even working. It's so early. It's just ridiculous. The host has such crazy energy. But what really messed me up was I'm like not knowing what we're walking into. Like Chris is telling me there's going to be no talking. Like I'll talk and spruik a bit about what's happening here. But when it comes to you, like don't bother trying to talk because the host will just improv off that and it will soak up too much time. So here I am thinking I just got to be like a mime and just do some stuff. But then while I'm doing that, she's like got the mic in my face so I can talk. And it's like, it could have been planned out for sure. A little bit. Yeah. But TV's a bit like that. It ended up being fine. Like people that I don't even talk to, like even in my estate where I live, it'd be like, you're Josh, right? I saw you on TV on the morning show. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. I think people it's like they're at home and then they look at their TV screen and they see like a flash of some kind of magic thing happening. They're like, oh, cool. Yeah. That's happening at E Street. Oh, yeah, cool.
I can relate that state fair I worked last winter. I had to do it was 4:30 in the morning. I went out to do this spot and it's like 45 degrees outside. The news host didn't even know what a deck of cards was. I'd planned the invisible deck, so I didn't have to do any sleight of hand. She couldn't name a card. But still 2 weeks later at the fair, hey, you're the magic guy. So you do the card tricks on the news. It happens, right?
Yeah. That's it.
But those news spots are brutal, especially the early ones. It can be rough to wake yourself up and be prepared to magish at the early hours. It's not natural.
Yeah. But yeah, Jace, John from East Street has been having some of us do magic like on the stage, like in between.
I know.
G-Dup's break.
Yeah, I know. I've heard a few interesting stories about your magic in between the breaks.
Well, I've only done it once, so
not you specifically, just the guys doing it.
This is Joel. Joel has all the interesting stories.
It's not Joel. Not Joel.
We know it's Joel.
Dude, I used to work at East Street for like 6 years. You don't think I'm friends with most of the people that work there?
You used to work at East Street?
No. How has it been though? How are you enjoying that stage? Because that stage is like nice and big, right? It's but there's always a lot of clutter from all the instruments and stuff. So do you find that annoying? Or?
Well, like I said, I only took on doing one of the weeks because for me it's not the best setting for a stage show for magic, like the way that audience and market is set up. But to my surprise, like everyone is very engaged. Particularly what helps is G-Up has just done a banger of a performance right before we come on,
By the way, Khan looks phenomenal now, man. Holy crap.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's
in such good shape now.
He's a beast and he knows it.
Yeah, he's a very strong performer.
Yeah, that's cool. It was fun. The one time I did it, it was surprisingly fun being up there.
It's a weirdly good stage, right? And the people that are there to be entertained. So they're actually pretty susceptible to it, which is great.
Yeah.
The thing I don't like is the amount of clutter on the stage because there's like a drum kit and a DJ setup and just stuff everywhere.
Wow, we didn't have that. So maybe they made a point to not have that there for us. Yeah,
lucky.
So that was lucky.
Yes. Lucky. That's cool. What'd you do on stage? Balloon swallow? Nice.
No. I just did my 3-card routine with the backflip and I just did a quick 5-minute bit. Some beatboxing, backflip, get off stage.
Did you do that one beat? Did you do that one beat? The one with the was it Pimps in the Crib or whatever it's called?
Yeah, you know that one as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love that one. I never do that one.
Okay. I seen your vlogs, bro. It was great. I seen your mic check.
I do that for you, right? That's the only reason I do it.
I can tell. Whenever you beatbox or do a flicker shot, I can see you looking into my soul after it. Because you do when you catch a flicker shot, you do like a kind kind of move. You're like,
yeah,
and then it cuts to the next thing.
Yeah, and I always immediately follow it up with telling Mika the reason why I did it was so that when Josh watches it.
No, I love seeing it, man. It's good. There's not enough.
Means
there's
that
not
you're
enough.
always in my mind, you know. It means I'm always thinking about you, brother.
Yeah. Ever since I've been doing more beatboxing, there are actual magicians who have reached out who also like to beatbox and like to do magic. Not necessarily in their show, but I've had a few guys reach out from like other countries. They're like, "Oh, I didn't know that there was another magician beatboxing." It's cool. There's actually like this weird sub niche.
It's been around for a while. Like the what is it? The Purple Rabbit, the Spanish guy that originally started with the Purple Rabbit. He's been doing it for years.
Yeah, nice.
A whole beatboxing and magic thing. Yeah, I don't know. It seems to be a pretty common trend, doesn't it? I think magicians just like practicing stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if it's common, but definitely
it's common for everyone.
More than 3, let's say.
Doug Con's doing it too, man. Have you seen him beatbox? Doug, give us a beatbox.
I have.
See where I'm at.
Straight fire. Fire.
Gosh.
Between that and your head box sound, like you've got it covered, man. You've got you've got a great.
Come on now. Who's got that beat?
Oh yeah, you can't beat it. You cannot beat it.
You can. Well, I mean, he's beating it right now, brother.
Somebody clip that. Yes.
Put that in the club. What's up, Stefan?
So funny.
That's brilliant. People just
want that. You should do that before you do card to mouth, Doug.
Yeah, you can tell my mouth is empty.
So you know what would be a good act, Josh? Imagine if you could actually do card to mouth, but you beatbox the whole tune, and then immediately after, you just produce the card. That would be crazy. You'd fool the hell out of everyone.
Well, I haven't thought of that, but what I had thought of similarly was the mini Rubik's Cube. How you put it in your mouth, mixed up, and it comes out of your mouth solved.
Yeah.
I've never done it myself. I'm not even sure that I know the method for sure. And don't say it on here if you do. But message me about it. But and teach me.
So the method is
all the methods. But basically, I did think about that. What if you could beatbox while this thing's in your mouth, and apparently that's moving it around to solve it? That'd be.
I like that idea actually.
I
mean, if you're gonna do that trick, why not do that too?
Yeah, I don't know if you could do it with the Rubik's Cube in your mouth though, but yeah. No, the method for it's simple, bro. All it is
you just gotta do an L1, a U,
R prime, U prime,
yeah. With your tongue, yeah. Easy.
Yeah, it's not that difficult, bro. It's pretty easy. It's actually really easy. So just don't be lazy, dude. Come on.
No, that's it.
Come on, bro.
That's what I thought.
I'm sure if you learn how to do that, your partner will appreciate it.
Wow.
All right, look at what I got, boys. Some quality dice.
Ooh, first dot shop dice. Dice.
Yeah, they sent them to me, which is great. But I want to come up with a routine for it now. I wish I had a blue one of these. Doug, you know the routine I'm thinking of when I say that?
A die routine with a different colored die?
Yeah, one of the dice is a different color, yeah.
Wow. Nothing comes to mind, actually.
See, this is your problem, Doug. This is your problem. You don't know enough about magic.
Is that the one? Is that?
I try hard, but I lack.
Is that in reference to like a die stacking routine where you can put the color die in whatever number they say or something?
Kind of, yeah, but it's
more magical.
Much better. No, it's cool. There's a few different things you can do. But yeah, I want to do a dice stacking routine. Now, what you do is the routine is that you have like a kind of chop cup situation, and you do a dice stacking thing, and then you take the blue dice and it passes through onto the top of the stack, for example. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah. So it's like you're doing a chop cup dice stacking routine, and then the finale is you'd produce like 2 jumbo dice or whatever. It's a very nice routine. It's very, very hard to do too, but it's fun. So I'm gonna work on that and try and get it working.
So we'll see that in day number 150.
I don't know what you're going to see in 150, man. I've never made it that far. there's a world where I still don't make it that far. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Have you thought about how you're going to end?
Yes. I'm going to delete my channel.
Nice.
At the very end of it, I'm going to delete my whole channel. Start a new one. And the new one's going to be called 365 Days of Grieving the Fact I Deleted My Channel. So,
you know what you should do? And I wanted to do this when I made my 100 vlogs, although it took me 3 years to make 100 vlogs. But you should do a watch party where you just line them all up and you stream you watching all 365. And people just watch the stream.
That's a massively long stream.
Absolutely.
I'm not making short episodes anymore. Mine are all like 10 to 15 minutes long. Like,
it's going to be 4 days long, but I'm just saying that would be an artistic approach to ending, you know.
That would be exhausting, bro. Have you done that? Did you do a stream like that?
No.
You should.
Well, I'm saying you should, because you'll have, you know, a massive watch party that will be there with you, you know. It's basically kind of like what's his name that did this exact thing, but with all his movies?
No, I don't know.
Guy from Transformers.
Oh, Optimus Prime.
Yes,
Mark Wahlberg?
No. The guys in the comments know what I'm talking about. I just can't pronounce. I can't think of how to pronounce his name
Michael
in my
Bay?
goddamn head. Come on, guys, help me out. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Nikado Avocado.
You know.
No, we don't know what you're talking about.
The main character in like the boy in like the first Transformers.
Yeah, Optimus Prime.
That dates Megan Fox.
Megan Fox. Yeah, Megan Fox. Yeah, she's good. Shia
LaBeouf. Thank you, Christopher Richies. Oh my God, thank you.
Goodness.
Why didn't you just say that, Josh?
So he
could have cut out so much time if you just said it.
Content, baby. He did this thing where
he complicated, bro.
He went to a cinema and had every movie he's been on play, but the camera is just on him, so you can hear the movie and you can see like the lighting change when it cuts to different scenes, but it's just him reacting to him watching his own stuff.
This is what I'm thinking, Josh. I'm thinking that you hurry up and come down to an episode with me. Come on, bro.
Yeah, great. And then you'll cut out. You'll find a way to like cut out every part I'm in, or like put Mika's head on my shoulders or something.
Why would I do? This is a weird thing that you're saying to me right now. Are you projecting, bro? Are you a little jealous of Mika? Huh? Is that what I'm hearing right now?
I love Mika.
Yeah, why are you saying all this weird stuff? Like I would cut you out and Photoshop him in over you or something.
Well, I'm just saying, like, in the same fashion that no one knows this podcast exists in your world, you would find a way to like, I'm in the vlog, and then when I leave, you're like,
this podcast has appeared in the vlog 3 times now.
That's like 1% maybe of your vlogs.
No, I've only done 71 episodes, so it's actually more like 6%.
Well, you know what? This podcast, no one in this podcast knows that your 365 exists. Okay, so
good. I don't want them to know. I don't want these people watching me. I suck.
But you know what? Like, yeah, I'd love to be in your vlog. What I really love is to like help film a vlog and make it like the most cinematic vlog we could possibly make. That would be sick.
That would be sick.
Bring the stabilizer, bring all the gear.
I mean, we could play around with that idea. I think it would be cool if we just like planned something ridiculous. Like instead of just like doing a vlog, it was like Josh and Jace decide to fly to Tasmania for a day or something. You know, just something stupid. Just Josh and Jace decide to fly over to New Zealand for street magic just because we can. And that's the vlog. We just go over there, we fly there, we do one trick, we fly home. Like, you know, just something stupid. Just
what
spend
if it was
$700 for a...
What if we're going to do that? Just come to New Orleans. We'll all do it here. And we'll just be all of us.
What if it was like that? You wake up and you realize you've lost something, or you've left something back in Brisbane, or your battery camera's about to die or something. Your camera's battery. And then you call me like, hey man, can you bring this to me? And I'm like, I got you. And then the whole thing is like me cinematically like making this whole detrimental trip to Sydney. I'm like, there you go. See ya.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll pass on that idea. Anyway.
No,
I
was invested. I was listening to the story, and then you just stopped all of a sudden.
Oh, did I?
Yes.
No, basically what I'm saying is we make this whole cinematic journey of me trying to get this item from you.
Yeah,
it cuts from you calling me to being like, hey, I need your help. And I'm like, all right, I got you. And I get all the way there. And then we find some comical ending to it.
Don't worry, man. I had a spare all along. So
yeah. Or
what if we do a trip to Melbourne, bro? You and me. What's Magi Fest? When the hell is that?
You mean the Melbourne Magic Festival?
Yeah, that one.
It's usually around my birthday in July, I think.
You have a birthday?
No, that can't be right. Well, every now and then.
Wait. Yeah, isn't it soon? It's like...
I actually don't know. Melbourne Magic Festival.
Is it May? In May? If it's in May, we should just go and meet up in Melbourne. Just stay in the comms together or something and just make a cheeky Tale 2 vlog.
I feel so left out of this whole skit.
No, you're welcome to come along, bro. Grab your flights and...
Sure.
I've actually had these funny ideas. I can't tell you them in case I actually do them, but I've had funny ideas about your 365 and just kind of like infiltrating them, but like without you knowing.
You hear that, guys? Josh is going to do a 365. You heard it here first. Clip that. Josh is going to do a 365. He's had funny ideas for it for ages.
Yeah. For yours.
Josh, you should do a 365. Thanks,
man. Fuck that.
Bro, you'd look great in a 365.
Yeah. I appreciate the enthusiasm.
Yo, what's up, guys? Josh and Oviedo, the Norwegian weirdo, back at it again with another episode of the 365 Days of Magic Challenge.
Yeah.
Today, I'm going to look at Jason's previous 365 to see what trick I should do. We're doing linking rubber bands. Like that.
Yeah. What if we do an episode of the 365 where I fully deck myself out to look exactly like you, and I try to reenact your mannerisms.
Just go to the Halloween store and get a Jesus costume. You're all set.
Hey, there you go. Like, let me just take my human battery real quick. All right, let's go do some magic, baby.
AA battery for humans.
Yeah, that's it. AA battery for humans.
I like to refer to it as either a AA battery for humans or cardio in a can because it gets the heart rate up. Yeah.
Okay. What if it could be like a bad? what if it could be like a purposely bad reenactment of Jason's 365? So I look like a Wish.com version of Jason.
What do you mean? You already look like a Wish.com version of Jason.
Well, we're halfway there, and then we have, instead of like I say, I got my new sweet cards, and it's like the Queen slippers.
Casino cards with the hole drilled through them.
Yeah. And then we have to get someone that looks like Yuki, but maybe it can just be even a guy or something. Like, it looks nothing like Yuki.
What are you trying to say about Yuki? Hey, what the hell? It's my wife.
No. I'm saying as a Wish.com.
Wait. Nothing Wish.com about her. Come on, man.
But you have someone that looks nothing like Yuki, but has like a wig on, like maybe the same colored hair. I'm like, good morning, baby. And then, like, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, yeah, bring out the Queen slippers.
Just get your missus to dress up like Yuki. It's fine. It's all good. Why does it have to be a dude, you weirdo?
Content. And I've always wondered what that would be like. So
hurry up and start your 365. Yeah, everyone's keen on it, bro. Look at this. The comments are blowing up.
One person. Jason starts, Josh finishes.
Yeah. And then the other one is there's more up there. If you read them all, you'll see them. Josh should start as soon as Jason finishes.
I'd watch a Josh 365.
I'd watch a Josh 365. Josh, if you do a 365, I'll send you 40 grand. Ooh.
Well, here's the thing, guys. I've made 100 vlogs in my time, and I did not see any of these kind of comments at the time when I was doing this. Okay. So just enjoy Jason's vlogs and get off my case.
No, brother. They want to enjoy your vlogs, but they want them to be daily. The problem is that your stories are always so jarring because they're not cohesive. You know, there's not a clear flow from day to day. It's just like 1 week to 1 week. It's confusing.
All right. Here's what I'll commit to.
Thanks for listening. It's time for us to disappear now. But we'll see you again on the next episode. of the Magic Guys.